Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
This is the world-famous Dave and Juan podcast. They're basically a household name. This podcast just jumps up and hits you in the buttocks. So, clench up and prepare for wisdom and humor. Or, just clench your buttocks. That's fun too. This is Dave and Juan.
And 3.
Number 2.
This would be a happy Mother's Day 1.
Woohoo! All you mamas out there.
America, especially you moms. I know you're probably seeing this a little bit after Mother's Day, but hey, moms,
You're welcome.
welcome. You're so welcome. What are you welcome for? Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
That's right. Mother's Day edition. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. And dare you mothers. You say it enough, it sounds bad. But this
Yeah. It's, I sent a few friends,
we all did.
a meme for,
That's right. But so I know this will be posting after officially Mother's Day, but we're doing this on Mother's
But our
Day.
sentiment lasts beyond just
Correct. We wish you a happy Mother's Day week, all the moms out there, and hopefully you're being treated well today and all week and forever. Be good to your mom.
That's
Come on,
right, man.
What you gonna do? Got to be good to your mom. Growing up, who's the one that kept you straight? Not your dad. Not your dad. Your dad might
pass straight until it was too much, and then it was wait till your daddy gets home.
Yeah. So good on there. My wife told me now, don't talk about how hurt you are. So I'm playing injured now, man.
Physically hurt or emotionally hurt?
Well, dude, I'm always emotionally hurt.
Yeah.
You know that. I mean, I'm
We
always
know that. You're very scarred.
I'm always at a stage of emotional hurt. But last week I was getting ready to travel. I went to I was in Waco for part of the
when
week.
all that weather was hitting Waco, you were there. I know
hang
we
on.
all talking about the weather.
I'm gonna give you a story on that, a true story on that. But I'm back, and then I'll have to go to Vegas, and my flight wasn't until late in the afternoon. So I said, I'm gonna go to the gym because I hadn't been to the gym in a bit. It'd been like a week or two because of schedules. So I go, get in there, very light workout because I'm not gonna. It's been a while. I'm not gonna hurt myself. Everything's good. And really what I go for, I go sit in the sauna, sweat it out, jump in the whirlpool. I mean, I cook myself in there, but it makes me feel good. Get back, take a quick shower. I go to to my locker, taking things down. I think I put my console back on. So I'm standing there. I'm in my console. And like, where's my phone? Can't find, oh man, and I have my phone and some earbuds. And I was like, I keep them in a Ziploc bag when I do the sauna and everything, and then take them shower.
Moisture out.
And I'm like, man, I bet you I left them in the shower, or and I probably moved a little too fast because you know how it is when you don't stop and just think, right? Just think. But I taken my slides off. Your sandal kind of slides, so I'm barefoot. Now I see idiots walking all over that locker room barefoot all the time. I don't. But I go walking around to go back into the showers to find my my phone. And I took the corner, I guess, a little too fast. Dude, went down like a blimp that's just been boom, landed.
So did you go down to the side, or did you do
to the side? I took a shot to the left hip, and as Forrest Gump would say, buttocks. I mean hard.
I'm guessing concrete floor, probably.
A tile on concrete, and but soapy and slippery like a son of a gun. So not enough that I slid. I hit hard enough that I just went. I just went. Oh, I mean that's what came out.
At least you had underwear on.
I had underwear on, so slid a little bit.
So did you pop up quick?
It's hard to pop up quick. I didn't lay there very long. One, because I'm on the floor in a shower area, not where you want to. This ain't prison, bro. I'm So I kind of get up and I'm like, God, and then you got the adrenaline flowing and like, oh, and then I kind of waddle over to where my shower was. Phone's not in there. God, I mean, surely nobody did, they picked it up already. So I'll walk back and I can already feel that I'm hurt. But here, I guess here's the good news. Here's what I learned at my advanced age. Apparently, I can fall and not break a hip. Okay, that's the only part. I get back to the locker. I'm like, yeah, it was underneath a towel. I did all that for nothing. Had I taken, 10 seconds to truly look for my phone, well, but been waiting. But the bruise finally came in 3 days later.
Nice.
Dude.
On your butt?
Oh, I mean, looked like a horse kicked me.
Yeah.
I got so
Yeah, you get a big bruise on your butt. It looks like a big, like, just a purple ham.
man. So that's the it didn't really bother me too much until and like I was in Vegas and I thought sure that night the bruise would be coming out and it didn't, and I thought sure the next day.
But it's not hurting your hip like to walk or anything?
No, I went for a good long walk yesterday. No, it's not. It doesn't. Every now and then it comes, but it's a deep bruise right on the buttocks, the hip, the hip. My hip's a little sore, but yeah.
The bad
Man.
part of that is it's not in a place where, it's still, as a man, it's nice to brag about bruises. But
Well,
you can't really show anybody.
can't show that one. Can't show that one. But then like it was almost 3 days and I didn't have a bruise, and I was thinking that's interesting because you might be like me. I'm at that age, man. The wind blows too hard. I'm getting
Dude,
a
I tell
bruise.
you, if I scratch myself, as in scratch like an itch, I get a bruise.
Yeah. So I was thinking, man, no, that's
But it's
crazy.
probably because it's deep.
Yes. And when it came, and when the bruise came out, oh Lord.
Yeah, and soon your butt will go from purple to yellow. It's going to those
Oh,
bruises go. It's like the full cycle.
correct. Well, I'm full on. When they say black and blue, I'm
Yeah.
full on black and blue right now. So, you know what though? Let me show America. While we're let's raise the ratings here, Juan. Them old guys, some old guys ass bruise. That's what we're gonna.
Yeah.
But anyway, so America, there you go. I'm playing hurt for you, but glad to be
Well,
here.
tell me about the weather. You said you had something at Waco.
Oh, I did. But you know what? Before I do that, hang on a sec here, Juan. You know what I forgot to do? Let me show. We are recording. Hey, we are recording, but let me put the
Set
timer
your
on.
timer.
Let me put the timer on here, because if not, well, you're gonna have to go anyway. Juan's going to dinner tonight. He's got plans he's all excited about to go to dinner.
We're about
But
7 minutes in.
okay. We'll just you know, America's getting what they're getting this week.
That's right, man. Whatever. Mother's Day.
Okay. True story. And I shouldn't say true story because it makes it sound like everything else is not, but true story. So I'm in Waco. I spoke on Tuesday morning. All right. I think it was great. Fantastic. I knew there was weather coming through, right? They called for, severe weather all over central Texas. I was like, it's kind of overcast. It wasn't really bad yet. Looked at the thing, and it's a 3-hour drive, give or take a little over 3 hours from Waco to my house. Yeah, I can do it. So I'm looking, now as I leave, okay, it's starting to rain a little harder, but not terrible. I'm get out there, I'm booking it, I'm about 30 minutes into the drive. All of a sudden, the radio, and I don't even know what radio station I have on. It's an FM station because the reception is not too great out there. Tornado warning. Tornado on the ground, and they start listing these.
Oh, so yeah, the warning is that means it's there.
It's there. It ain't a
I
watch.
always forget.
It ain't a watch. It's a warning. There's a tornado spotted, blah, 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 and they start giving the names of towns. I don't know the name.
You don't know where you are.
any of these freaking towns. I'm driving on an interstate. It's kind of windy, overcast. It's not raining terribly hard, but it's raining enough, and I'm and it's a little disconcerting. Then I go to look at my phone. I want to pull up the weather on my phone. My phone gives me this like big red take cover. Like the radio is saying, go to the trailers will be destroyed. Go to the center seek shelter now, go to a center room. My
What do you do in a car?
Listen, so here's exactly, dude.
Were you on an interstate?
Not an interstate, but a highway. So two lanes going the same way. What do you call
But
it?
a highway is not going to have overpasses that you can kind of duck
Not
under.
many. And as this starts, I just missed an exit. Like there was a Walmart back there. All right. So then I'm like, what the? And I'm trying to figure out.
Now, are you heading into it? Or are you heading away from it?
I was racing it because I'm going on a road that's basically going north-south, or if not quite north-south, maybe northwest, southeast, but kind of steep. And that system where I think the tornado is moving the same, like coming this way. So I looked at it, and here's my thing. I couldn't even tell. Like, so it's giving me, and then my phone's saying hail forming in 10 minutes and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, where does my phone think I am? All right, I'm playing that game, driving, not really with my knees, and then it dawns on me. I look, and it was just random guess. I look at the map where I'm at, and I said, okay, I think it's coming to where I am. So that means I got to get out of where I am.
Call your wife, tell her bye.
Nope, I didn't. I figured, why worry her?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
let me know, and I might not have a podcast this weekend.
Because here's the deal. If you're in a place and you're in a car and you have no way of, I mean, literally, what am I going to do? Pull into somebody's house? And there aren't that many houses out there. I did think about that. I did pass like a side street, and I thought, you think, like, I wonder if I could just pull in and say, hey, can I hide? And I just said, I guess I got to try to outrun this thing. And I knew that there no way cops were going to be stopping anybody, because they're getting all the warnings.
Right,
too.
they're going to where it's hit.
And something tells me if I go flying by a cop doing 85, 90 miles an hour in a 55 mile an hour speed zone, he ain't chasing me. Right? So that was, Jesus, take the wheel. Let's go. And I was fortunate, man. I'll send you a screenshot, because I did take a screenshot of getting out of there. But later on, so I did, and thankfully I got home. Everything was fine. Later on, I saw footage of like Bryan College Station, which is one of the places. This was before major floods. I mean, wow. major stuff. But yeah, y'all, that was a first. I'm in a car, and everything that can possibly talk to me is telling me there's a tornado on the ground. Take shelter.
Yeah, and I never thought about that. I mean, when you don't know where you are, let alone what's coming, and even if you do the under the overpass, what do? Get out your car and run up?
I don't know. I thought about that the whole time. They say if you're caught in a field, get in a ditch. No, I don't see myself.
Yeah, you just park your car and then you just go lay down.
I thought about it. I said, well, you know what? I mean, I'm
get in the culvert.
I'm strapped in a car. Hopefully, if I get hit by a tornado, I'm just gonna. I don't know.
Yeah, if you go, it'll be a heck of a story.
But yeah, that's one of those you're making those you're wondering about your life decisions while you're out there. Like maybe I always wanted to get home, and I even thought about waiting and letting, quote unquote, letting the storm pass. But it's probably better. I mean, it worked out, because otherwise that storm took a while and roads were closed, and
then you don't know. I mean, it's not like it's a thunderstorm where you can kind of predict the pattern of it.
No, it's like, there you go. And by the way, National Weather Service out of Fort Worth, wherever the hell you are, if you're going to start giving names of towns, help out those of us that have no idea. You give us some big places, like give us, that's about 35 miles southeast of Waco. That would have helped. Give me. Don't make me have to pull out my maps to see where I'm at.
Not nearly as dramatic. But Tuesday you're ahead of us as far as getting the weather. But so my daughter finished, or they had their last day of whatever high school on Tuesday, and they call it honk off or honk out. And all the kids kind of parade out in their cars, and they do like drive around a couple of times, just blowing horn and waving at people. So it's a cool little thing. But okay. She also drives a Jeep, and she wanted to take the tops and the doors off. So I'm sitting here saying, okay, well, Don't know when the rain's coming through, so you take mine to school. I'll get all your stuff off, and then right before it starts, if the weather's okay, I'll go switch out with you. Well,
Nice
yeah,
move, Juan. It's a very,
yeah.
very, very, very nice fatherly move there.
The first three doors come off without a hitch. The fourth door, I can't get that sucker off to save my life. And yeah, then I'm like, yeah, I'm not getting beat by this. This is not gonna, yeah, I'm getting this sucker off some kind of way. So, I'm driving things into where the hinge is to pull it off. I'm WD-40 and everything. Then finally, I'm this close to giving up, and I said, I'm gonna put the freaking jack under that sucker and lift it. So I get the jack under there, and then now the door's about 6 inches higher than the jack
I got
will
you.
go. So now I'm finding every scrap piece of wood I have in my garage to set my jack on. And it's wobbly as all get out, but so I'm like trying to configure this deal.
Man's committed.
Yeah, and I finally get it. I got that baby off.
It was just stuck. Like it was just no.
Yeah, I don't know that we've ever taken the doors off on
Okay,
hers.
at some point, because at some point I start wondering, am I breaking something here? Like, did I misread? Is there a
No, I went back and looked, and 'cause I've done it on mine enough times, but it's just, it was probably just hadn't been and something seized up in there. But
So,
so
as a
yeah,
general rule, if you're driving a vehicle, you would rather that the doors do not come off easily.
yeah.
Just general rule. General rule, doors are supposed to be attached to the vehicle. So
Well,
it's a
I
little
got
different.
them off, and I just said, okay, no standing up in the Jeep
No standing up in the Jeep. Why is that? Just
because I got the little parade. I'll be driving around. I said, stand up, you'll fall out.
okay. They
There
can't.
were other children. There were other people's kids in there. I just
Oh,
didn't.
they
Yeah.
don't. They don't have to wear seat belts, man. Come on.
Well, not if you're driving. Not if you're standing up.
Well, okay. I kind of lost it there. All right. Y'all stay strapped in. Well, good.
So that was my weather dilemma. Not nearly as dramatic.
And I'm
as
getting. It
yours.
sounds like you did fine. It didn't rain. Everybody was
Nah, it didn't rain until after, so it was all good.
everybody was good. Well, I mean, we're talking about the weather. And we always do talk about the weather. Do you see? And I'm going to be heading to Louisiana. I'm going to New Orleans later in the week.
For fun or for work?
For fun, though if I can figure out a way to write it off. So let's just say it's for work. So if anybody, the IRS, I am going to do a lot of serious work while I'm there. But yeah, I have some cousins. We talked about doing this. I have some. We're all. I say all
Adults.
old dudes. I'm the old dude. I mean, one of my cousins is probably 15 years younger than me, so he's not
Yeah.
quite an old dude yet. But yeah, we're getting together. We had one of these. We were at recently within the last year at a funeral for my Aunt Marion.
Yeah, your aunt, where y'all
Yeah, where I
brought
kind
beer
of
to
looked
the
around
funeral.
and said, "This is kind of stupid. The only time we ever see anybody is when somebody passes. So
Uh-huh.
let's try to do it." And then that's what's going on. So we're all going to New
Well,
Orleans.
good on y'all, man.
Yeah,
The only people who ever act on that promise.
you ain't lying. My wife even made the comment about that. She goes, "Well, look at you. You kind of just threw that out there because I didn't think anybody. I thought it'd be always the same thing. One or two would say yeah, and everybody else would get out of it. But we'll see. Hey, wait, it's still a week. You never know. you know, you never know. Oh, by the way, was it last Mother's? When was it? Where I gave the gift, my wife the car wash thing. I was
That
it
was for
last.
Christmas.
Was it Christmas this year?
I think so.
I forget, but it was your idea, right? Just the was it 20 something bucks a month for the unlimited car washes, right? So here's what's funny. At first, I don't think she was hip on that. No, man, she's addicted. Okay,
Dude, I'm telling you.
she's addicted, and she went somewhere about a week or two ago with her friends, and I guess she ended up driving. They went to have dinner somewhere, or they went to a movie, and then they all got together. Anyway, they rode in her car, and they were all saying, "Oh, how clean Cindy's car was." And she told them, she says, "That's my husband. He gave me,
Yeah.
dude." But she didn't mention you. I can't believe,
Yeah. Well,
she
All
could have
right,
at
Dave. I
least
don't need to take credit for your wife's presence.
she could have at least said, my husband gave me this, but no, it was his friend Juan's idea But so there
Dude,
you
I'll go twice in a day sometimes if I happen to pass by it, or a different one.
there you go. Just it's
Just because, and that's not necessarily because my car's dirty.
you just
It's
feel
because
obliged.
I paid for it, and it's like,
You
I
feel
want to get full use out of it.
feel obliged. I was in that hotel. I checked into this hotel in Waco, right on Tuesday, no Monday night, and I've never
The
made me
David
laugh.
Koresh Inn.
Um,
The David Koresh Inn.
I don't know. Everybody's got a Koresh joke about Waco. They are never going to shake that. They are never. Waco
No.
will never shake as nice a town as it is. The fact that it's what Magnolia, who the
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Other than the
husband and wife team.
Joanna and
Okay,
whatever Gaines,
so they're massive. I mean, Baylor
Baylor
University's there, dude.
University,
It
a
is
very good university.
Waco. Waco is what I think Austin used to be. It's a lovely town. Everything going on. Great college. It's what, but everybody only knows it for the
Yeah.
David Koresh thing. But by the way, the more you find out about that, Koresh was not a good guy. But that whole thing was government.
Oh, yeah. I've
Our
seen enough
government
on
dude
that.
messed that up. There was no reason
Yeah.
that went down the way it went down. So
Yeah.
I don't get me started on that. But that's I'm not I Lord knows I'm not here to defend the Branch
The Branch
Davidians.
Davidians
Okay, so no, I'm not defending that at all. But that whole
could have been avoided.
could have been avoided. One side instigated that, and it
Yeah.
wasn't them. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm checking into the hotel, and the young man behind the counter he says, oh, well, Martin, yes. Due to whatever, we're we put you in a upgraded room. Your room has a Peloton in it,
That's right. You said picture,
and
dude. That was something.
and I was like, huh? A what? A Peloton bike. Those of you that don't know what a Peloton bike is, those are those kind of expensive exercise bikes. There's a
Yeah.
screen on it. You can, all right. And I just looked at him like, okay. I never, yeah. And then my favorite line, he looked at me and says, oh yeah, but you don't have to ride it.
You can hang your jacket on it.
You don't have, I did. All right. Only because I sent the pictures and everybody was saying, hang your jacket on it. But yeah, that was my favorite thing. You have a Peloton bike in your room, but you don't have to ride it. I was like, thanks for giving me a pass on that, bro. That's and I get up to the room and I'm like, it's just the weirdest thing. It's I guess it's a slightly bigger room. It had a king size bed in it.
Oh, you had like a bar with stools and everything.
No, that's a second hotel.
Oh,
That
that's
was
the
in
second
Vegas.
room. Oh, that was your
Yeah,
Vegas room.
that was the Vegas room. No, the Waco room was just sort of a little bit bigger than a standard. I guess it was on a corner, so I had like a corner, two things of glass.
But how do you? I don't. You think you'd have to? I don't know. You travel a lot. Is that a standard feature in a room? Exercise equipment that you can
No,
request?
never. I don't think in all the hotels I've ever stayed in that I've ever had an exercise bike in the room. And I'm thinking it just makes no sense. I'm like, why? Who wants this? Like is this like like I can't figure this part out. It's not a very attractive feature to have in the middle of the room.
Right, unless you're like in some suite that like a penthouse suite
Massive.
that people live in or
Right.
something.
Yeah, and it's like one room. It's just one. It was a sort of a big room, but it's one room. It's just got one, sort of like an eyesore, actually.
Maybe
But
they had the extra space in there and they figured out what can we do with this space? It just looks bad.
I,
Space.
I think they must have had some idiot that requested it or something, and they just never wanted to remove it. I mean, who does that? Who puts in for? Maybe they do. I don't know. Maybe some weirdos say, yeah, I would like an book. I'll pay an extra 25 a night to have the exercise bike in my
I think
room.
it'd cost more than that.
Now, you know what I did? I had a pizza. I ordered a room service pizza, and hung my jacket on the bike. That was the other room you're talking about. I did send a picture. It was Vegas, and we ended up staying at they had us at a place called the M Resort. So it's out in Henderson. So it's not on the Strip. It's about 15, 20 minutes out from the Strip, but it's the Los Angeles Raiders. The Raiders now moved.
Yeah, they're out of the.
It's their headquarters hotel, and I think their training facility is like right there, right?
All right.
So almost connected to it. Super nice. Super, super
I bet. I
nice.
mean, during football season, that sucker must get heavy, corporate use.
I can't wait for the Raider fans to destroy that place. I mean, it's just because there's again nothing but nice, and the outside is just amazing. It's just like it looks like these huge swimming pools go on forever, and they got a flat screen out there the size of a drive-in
Wow.
drive-in cinema movie place. And this is Vegas summer. I mean, Vegas sunshine, and you can still see this screen.
Wow.
So yeah, it's pretty. But yeah, it was nice. But my room, same thing. I think they tell you a lie. They just said for capacity, so they quote unquote upgraded me. I got a feeling the regular rooms there are pretty nice, but yeah, I walk into this room and it's got a bar and like a 4 or 5 stools at
Yeah,
this.
yeah. You're not talking mini bar. You're talking like a
No,
whole
big
sit
li-
down, belly up to the bar.
big living room, right? Big living room. Uh, 1.5 baths. I didn't even. The room's so damn big. I didn't even know I had a second toilet because somebody I saw after made a comment that goes, "Man, I'm in a room's got 2 bathrooms," and I was thinking, "Oh, I got shafted. I don't have 2 bathrooms." When I went back to my room, I
How
realized,
dare they?
oh, you're staying in a room that's pretty big when you miss features of the
Uh-huh.
room on the way through. But that's nice. But it's almost I shouldn't say bad, but when you get stay in a really nice place, it just ruins the next. Like I'll probably be in a
Yeah, that's a
freaking
bad thing, when
moldy Hampton Inn pretty soon.
yeah, yeah, when okay is good enough and you get way, way better than okay, then okay suddenly becomes crap.
And then the next thing you go to is like you got that moldy carpet looks like this carpet ain't been changed in forever, and you got that window,
The window AC unit.
well, it's not a window. Yeah, well, they're
No, it's
not
not a
window.
window, but it's under the window.
Look,
Yeah,
it
I
looks
hate
like
that.
an old radiator kind of deal,
Yeah,
right?
where you can never get the temperature right.
And no, yeah, exactly, because it's either freeze
Yeah.
freeze you know what off, or you're sweating. You either wake
Yeah.
up sweating or frozen.
Yeah, I want a thermostat.
And whenever it kicks on, so then you try to think, can I sleep through the noise with the all right, first world problems, yo. I got it. But here, story of my life. Story of my life. I'm staying in this super, super nice room, right? Posh. I'm a baller. Posh, right? Wake up the next morning, coffee pot doesn't work. The Keurig machine in my palatial suite did not work. And I thought,
So you had slept the whole night thinking you were going to belly up to that bar with a cup of coffee.
I wanted a couple of cups of coffee in the morning before heading down. And, I know there's coffee downstairs, but when I go downstairs, I got to talk to people. And not that I mind talking to people, but, first thing in the morning, just give me a couple shots of coffee and let me, but yeah, so that was God keeping me honest. Hey, you think you got it made, bro. Here you go. You got to,
Well, speaking of talking to people, so you don't even know this. So I start a new job tomorrow.
really?
Yep. At a credit union, a statewide credit union, marketing manager.
Wait. Okay, this is not April 1st. Seriously?
Yeah, for real.
You don't send a lead-in text to that? You don't send something?
No,
Me and Rick text about 17 times a day.
Yeah.
You wait for the podcast to drop the career change of one. I'll
Right.
be darned. All right.
Yeah, but so, and yeah, it makes it worse that I hadn't said anything because it got like offered a month ago, and the date to start was tomorrow. But so this week I started getting, I guess, like people who I'm gonna be working with who I've never met who connect with me on LinkedIn. And then they send messages and said, "Oh man, I'm so excited to work with you, so excited to meet you." And then I got a guy who lives just down the street from me. I just know him from that. And then I realized he works there, and I had to send him a note for something else related to the neighborhood the other day. And I said, "Oh, I don't know." I said, "Hey, I heard you work here. I'm starting there Monday." And he said, "Oh, I know. I've been, everybody's been talking about it." And I told my wife last night. I said, "I don't like that." Yeah, I said, that's a lot of pressure to go in and people are knowing you're coming and they're excited that you're going to be there.
Well, the excitement will wear off pretty quick. I mean, how
Yeah, I
that
hear you
works.
once they get to know me.
Oh, well, yeah, it's a story. The story of life, man. You're a genius until you go to work somewhere. Everybody loves you. I mean, when I do consulting, everybody, story when I took a job down here working for a bank for a little bit, I
Yeah.
realized, oh, wait, you guys love me when I was on the outside. I was just a genius until you started signing my checks and thinking,
Mm.
you can't be that bright. You came to work here.
Yeah.
So are you going to share? Like, what are you going to do?
I'm a marketing manager at it's a statewide credit union. They're a mile from my house, so I can literally, ride a bike if it's not hot.
Not that
Um,
you would, but okay.
I might, dude. Might get an electric bike.
Nice,
Uh,
nice.
the
So you going to ever share the name of the place? Or you going to keep
oh,
it?
I can. Yeah, it's Pelican State Credit Union.
Okay, all right.
So, I think it's the biggest credit union in Louisiana.
Well, so I got a lot
I
of
don't know. Do
people.
you do stuff at credit unions?
I do, but don't tell bankers that. Bankers hate credit unions.
Yeah, I know.
I got, the conference I just came from was mostly credit
Well,
unions.
there you go. See, this week when you're on your way to New Orleans, stop by, visit me at the credit union, and you can write that baby off.
Dude, I'm gonna start writing off everything on this podcast. Are you kidding me? What does this say about the financial services world, though? That now the Dave and Juan More Time podcast, both
Right?
of us
You
are employed in financial services, man.
you inspired me.
Dude, dude. Well, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, man.
And what's great about that is it normally takes 6 months to a year before they figure out whether or not.
That's what I'm saying. And dude, if I can last a year and a half, I'm good.
No pressure. No
Yeah.
pressure now, did you so you're going to be running marketing,
Mm-hmm.
like running it.
There's a guy over me who's like the VP of marketing, so
Oh,
or
I got
VP of
that guy.
something.
You steamroll that guy.
Yeah.
Whoever that guy get you in
Yeah, but
trouble.
I have like direct reports and all that stuff. So
Oh, really? Oh
yeah.
man. Oh man. Well, so congratulations, Pelican
Yeah.
State.
Pelican State.
You got now you have to change all your bank accounts and stuff now.
I don't know. Um,
It's amazing to me how many people work at banks and don't bank where they work.
well, it's a pain in the butt to do it, but it's I don't know, not to be morbid, but
Not to be
we've
morbid.
been having to deal with stuff.
Right.
My mother-in-law passed a couple of months ago, and so like having to deal with stuff with attorneys for getting all that settled. And they were saying like big banks are a nightmare to deal with in that situation, like to release that money as
Hmm.
opposed to like a smaller, like a local bank or whatever
Yeah, I could
would
see
be.
that. I mean, and I'm not going to dump on bigger banks, but most bigger companies are, yeah,
Yeah, but no, it's they just got to go through it. I mean, I'm with a big bank, and I got no problem with that bank. So it'd be
but
a headache to change because we have a lot of stuff that gets direct
right.
or bill pay and stuff like
Well, you're
that.
going to learn as a marketing person at a credit union now that part of your job is going to be figuring out ways to market to people that it's not that hard to change. Juan,
Yeah.
you're gonna, you're going to have to convince people why Pelican State Credit Union is worth the effort. Let's get a sponsorship for this damn podcast, man,
Hey, maybe so.
dude.
The first thing I'm going to ask tomorrow when I get to orientation is, do you read The American Banker?
Do you read The American Banker? The only thing worth reading in there, right here. I just let me yeah, that's kind of funny. You should have said that in your interview. I do a weekly podcast with the longest running columnist in American Banker. But don't hold that against me because
Yeah,
he don't he don't write about banking. He writes about he just tells stories and they dropped the word bank in there a couple
that's
times
right,
and
man. It's the art of weaving.
that's right. Weave back. Our weave master. Do you see where I pulled this up a while ago? I don't even know how this is possible, but Trump, our president and yours, Trump, the Trump administration is getting ready to accept a gift from the country of Qatar. Okay. I thought when I first saw this, I thought, I don't think you can do this, but apparently you can. It is apparently, it says, what might be the most valuable gift ever extended to the United States from a foreign government. They are giving Trump it's called the Palace in the Sky. It's a luxury Boeing 747-8 jumbo jet that will serve as Air Force One for the next couple 3 years
Wow.
until yeah. And then once he's done, it's going to be given to it's going to be transferred to the Trump Presidential Library Foundation.
So is it like decked out and all secured and everything?
I guess I didn't. When I read that, that's why I thought it can't be true. How
I
did
don't. Where's Qatar?
it's
Like a Middle East country or something?
it's no. You head down to Montague, and then you hang a hard left at Montague. No, yeah, it's I have to pull up the map here. Hang on a second. I'm gonna get let me chat this. You would think I know. I'm not the world traveler that some of my friends are. Let's see if I can do this here. Where is Qatar located? Let's see what chat tells me on this one. Where is Qatar located? For those of you that are curious out there, the country that is given Qatar is located in the Middle East on the northeastern coast of the Arabian Peninsula. That
All
doesn't
right.
help many people out. Everybody say, huh? So it has Saudi
North of
Arabia.
Africa.
Saudi Arabia is to its south. That's the only
Okay.
land border. And the Persian Gulf is to the northeast and west. Qatar is a small peninsular country, and its capital city is Doha, which lies along the eastern coast. All right.
Well, what's its? Is it, I'm guessing it's an oil-rich country,
Aren't they all? I mean, what?
or it's got a king or something that his
It's
family
oh, I'm
owns
sure
all
if
the
it's
money.
not, yeah, it's where you got all these people out there that are actually they're 100 billionaires, if not trillionaires. Yeah, we'll put a we'll show.
Well, see, I think Trump can take credit for saving us money
There you
on
go, Roy.
on the new Air Force
That's a
One. All
map
right,
of
I see it.
Qatar. Not that that tells you anything, but it's right on top of Saudi Arabia. But yeah, I was thinking both ways. It's like so. I mean, obviously they are an ally. Of course, we've learned over time our allies are not always our allies.
Right.
Like they got a lot of countries that they've told us in the past that, oh yeah, they're our allies. 9/11. And you realize later, like, oh, maybe not so much. But um, yeah, how does how do you got to have some trust when you're putting the president
Yeah, I guess so.
on?
Check it out.
You think they're going to sweep it for bugs? I mean, like,
You got a little radio action, connectivity to it. Take it out.
so yeah, I just that's a baller move, man. I guess Qatar's not worried about the tariffs. I
Yeah. They probably. I would say we're probably got a zero tariff with them.
And by the way, everybody that's all these experts on tariffs who didn't even know what a tariff was, and everybody, hey, stuff seems to be working. Just
And what happens to that when all of this stuff with China gets ironed out?
they're going to
What
make
are they gonna
something.
fuss about then?
It's beyond. Don't trust anybody, y'all. Oh, I thought about you a couple times this week, Juan. I even might have sent you something, dude. I'm just sorry. The more and more, and I guess I'm down that rabbit trail, and the algorithm sends me stuff. Y'all, we did not go to the moon. We did not. I don't want to shatter anybody. They taught us a bunch of crap, man. And you know what? I would love somebody to prove me wrong. Please, NASA, please somebody come show just irrefutable truth because it is stacked. And what happens is stuff reaches critical mass. There are certain things you're not allowed to talk about. There's certain things, and all of a sudden, people just start coming and pointing things out, and people start coming out of the woodwork, or people that had spoken years ago.
Well,
Um,
when Elon says it's not true, then I believe it.
I think as much as I admire Elon, I think they got some stuff on him too, as far as the only danger to the only danger to the wealthiest man in the world is a country, because countries can put you in jail, countries can take your stuff away. So yeah, you might be worth a few $100 billion, but that's a rounding error to the U.S. or to to Germany or to England or whatever. So yeah, man, I almost sent you the clip. It was about a 15-minute interview with a guy that was just compelling, and I thought I don't want to ask Juan to have to listen to 15 minutes of stuff, but
Well, send it to me. I'll send it to my stepdaughter. She's in all that stuff.
oh hey,
And to Riley's friend, who's
I'm on her team. We never went. We never went, y'all. It was for a reason. Even Apollo 13 never happened. Never happened.
Just a movie.
It was. It was a story they wrote. Totally never happened. They were losing. America had lost all interest in space travel, which is kind of funny when you stop and think about it. Because they thought we went. We thought like, oh, we've been to the moon, and literally nobody cared. It's like the space shuttle. Like, you remember when the space shuttle blew up? We talked about that before. You were the person that saw it on TV. You called me at the radio station. When the space shuttle blew up, most people didn't even know we were still launching those things.
Yeah.
And then years later, around 2000 or so, because we were living in Texas at the time, when the space shuttle blew up again or on re-entry, people didn't even know it was up there. So people lose interest quick.
Yeah, when the first one happened, I've told this story before. It's like I was upset because they interviewed some game show I was watching.
They interrupted it. Yeah.
It's like, hey, man, they're about to play the speed round or something. No.
They messed it up. But no, that's what the guy was saying. No, they were just, America had already lost interest in anything with space. And they weren't really going, but they had the money budgeted. Like, they had billions of dollars. And this was like circa 60-something, 70-something. So how do you get America interested in space travel again? You fake a crisis, and we gotta, talk them through it, and they might not become. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm leaning that way, y'all. I'm. Somebody has to prove a conspiracy theory wrong before I'm going to stop believing in the conspiracy theories. Just conspiracy theorists are batting 1,000. I mean. Oh, you crazy to believe that? And 5 minutes later, well, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much. So, anyway, we got a new pope. We got a new pope
From the United States.
I am a real American. Fight for the rights. That was Hulk Hogan's.
Now, this is why all the disbelief and not disbelief, or I guess all the shock that the dude attended a baseball game at some point in life.
Oh, it's not that. I mean, he did more than that. I'm sure he dated people back in not all priests and who have become whatever. I'm pretty sure Pope John Paul II, who is the he's like the OG. He's probably he's the Michael Jordan of popes. If you if you look at it that way, I'm pretty sure he was an actor back in.
Was he?
He was an actor, like very young, I think in maybe high school or college, and I'm pretty sure he dated. I mean, I'm not, so it happens. But yeah, this guy was born in Chicago. Now, and so he's an American, and I get annoyed because there was even a cardinal, and he's a cardinal here, and he's a recently retired cardinal from Galveston, Houston. And I mean, good guy, respectable guy, but making a big point of, he's born in America, but he's a citizen of the world because all these other places he went. And I'm like, I don't want to hear that crap. Every time every other country that gets a pope, that's all they can they stick to is like, where he's from. Well, guess what? This dude was born he went to, was it Villanova, I think?
Yeah, Villanova. His brother's still here.
Okay, so there you go. We got an American pope, which proves...
I like the story about they were interviewing his brother, and his brother had the phone on silent and missed the calls from the pope.
Man, there you go. He's going to hell for that. He
called him back. He called him back and got it on the air.
You don't take a call from the pope. That don't look good. But just again, American pope goes to show you Trump's tariffs are working.
Hey, that's all I'm saying.
Even the Vatican saying, you know what, man, we don't
got to line up with this deal.
We don't need a tariff on the popage. So let's do that. So Pope Leo
why do they do that? Why don't they just go with that name?
Oh, that's the tradition. I mean,
and I've never heard of Pope Leo.
Well, there were like 14 or 15 before.
Yeah. I don't know. It just doesn't sound like a very popish name to me.
Well, somebody had him before.
I mean, is there a Saint Leo?
I'm sure, dude. There's a saint everything. I mean,
not a Saint Juan.
Church has been around. I bet you there's a Saint Juan. I bet you there is. Look, man, church has been around a long time, bro. You get a lot. I mean, yeah. It seems to me though, if I was gonna be a pope, I'd come up with my own name. Now I know there's a reason not, and I know if my wife is listening to this podcast, she's probably pausing it right now to find me wherever I am to tell me what an idiot I am that I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't study all that stuff.
Yeah.
Seems like a pope would say, you know what, I'm gonna break the mold. It'd be
Like
Pope Alphonse.
Yeah, Pope Dakota or something, some tough name.
Pope, Pope Kyler.
Yeah,
Or what are these names? Uh, Pope Brandon.
yeah. You don't want to go with Brandon, but
Yeah, well, true, true. But so anyway, so good luck, Pope. Hope you hang in there for a while. Hope you what
well,
else?
a guy who could have been Pope in South Louisiana a few years ago is Coach O. Um,
Ed Orgeron.
Coach O, I was in the news this week.
Was he? Did he beat somebody up?
No,
No.
no. He was in the news a couple of weeks ago because somebody had video of him just shooting the breeze in French on the levee over here. So,
He's legit. Listen,
yeah, he's
man,
legit.
you can say what you want about Coach O. Dude, the dude is who he is.
Yeah. But apparently he and his ex-wife, their court or their case I guess the division of their assets is being sent to the Louisiana Supreme Court. It can't be the U.S. Supreme Court
That seems odd.
because she is claiming that I think he filed divorce shortly before he got the big payout. So
Okay.
he's saying that she doesn't get half of the big payout, the big payout he got when he got fired.
Right.
She's saying she does. So that's
I wonder again. I didn't even know this until you brought it up, so I'm just speculating on things. Okay, he filed divorce.
yeah,
And so I'm guessing he filed for a reason.
yeah,
I think I may have heard. I don't know. But
yeah. I had heard.
I don't think it was irreconcilable differences. I think it was like uh you done messed up, Aaron.
Yeah,
I could be totally wrong. Could be
yeah.
totally wrong how that works, but
Now I heard she had. Yeah,
I heard that too, but it doesn't mean it's true. I mean,
yeah.
I'm from the Bayou. Everybody's gonna have Ed's side, I mean, and it gets to a point of we're talking, it's a little bit of money. So I don't understand how that goes to the Supreme Court though. Like they're setting precedent or something. I
I don't
mean,
know. Yeah, don't
well,
know. I'll send you the article. But
good luck. Because I know, I saw the money, like his payout, and the thing was, we take taxes out of that. Don't get me wrong, it's still a good chunk of change, but dividing it by two hurts.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, dividing anything by two come money.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, that's yeah. But yeah, they say why does divorce cost so much, and then people say because it's worth it.
Because, well,
Yeah,
that's what they say. We're not gonna go down there. Hey, I saw a wreck in my neighborhood yesterday, I think it was.
in the neighborhood.
Yeah, slow motion. Like, right. I mean, and it was so annoying because I'm coming up behind and it's a Stadium Drive over here, and it's two lanes going one way, right? But it's one of these roads that they have a curb on either side, so you can't get out. I mean, on my car, I guess I could have torn up landscaping if I wanted to get out, but you sort of follow there. You come to the end of this street, and it's two lanes. One lane turns right, one lane turns left. That's your choices. There's no straight. It's
Yeah,
right. So I'm behind, and there's this woman driving a large Ram truck, pickup truck, and then some dude's in a Toyota freaking Prius. He's on the right lane, and I'm behind him, because I'm going to turn right. And
did the
I'm
Ram
watching.
truck just hit him on principle
No, dude, it was like this guy, I don't know, decided he was going to turn left,
in the
and I
Prius or the truck?
the Prius. He's in the right lane where you have to turn right.
Yeah. Oh, and he whips it
He
around.
just decides he just pulls up in front of like sideways of the truck, and she can't see him. I just literally, and I just watch it in slow motion, just right, and then the fun started because this guy, and I want to be careful how I say this because I mean I don't wish anything bad on anybody, but if you'd have told me this guy had been a previous survivor of a stroke, I tell you he did not look like a guy who should be driving a vehicle.
Mm.
He had something going on, like some kind of big patch on around his ear or something, glasses. And the dude, uh, he didn't make a lot of sense. Now the woman gets out and she's her first response is
Passenger in the Prius.
no. The woman was driving the truck.
Okay, all right.
And so she comes out, and I watched the whole thing. And it's one of those things, man, God, I want to be involved, but I saw the whole damn thing. So, and she comes out and she's telling, and the guy said something about, you hit me. And she was like, "What do you mean I hit you? And I even took the picture. His car is in her lane. So it's obvious, like
Yeah.
what this idiot did. He didn't want to give her his insurance information. He didn't want whatever. And then the cars start lining up. Nobody can go anywhere. So next thing you know, we got traffic backed up all on this road. So I get out, and you know me, Juan. I'm a problem solver.
I would say, did you negotiate? Were you a mediator there?
I get out there and I'm like, well, first thing I'm doing is I want to assess the situation because people lose their minds and like, wait, I'm armed, but not on me.
You didn't want to get caught in the crossfire.
Correct. Like I'm trying to figure out, do I need to take my gun out with me when I go check this out? And I want to make sure. And then some other guys from back come and walk, and we just basically telling them, y'all got to clear this. Y'all got to clear this. And the guy doesn't want to do anything. So I end up calling 911. So I'm the guy talking, and so they got all my information. Is anybody violent? I'm like, well, they're about to be. I mean, I can't promise you somebody from this line that's stuck's not going to come beat somebody up in a little while. But yeah, they had it tied up for like 10 minutes back. It was just,
And the guy doesn't want to move, or the truck probably doesn't want to move because the guy doesn't want to give him his information.
That finally came out, and it was just so worn. And I was feeling for I have nothing but good things to say about Sugarland Police, but hey, where were y'all guys? I mean, it took a minute. Anyway, and I got the latest number. I texted her the picture. I took a picture of the situation. It's clearly like, look, I don't care what happened. This dude is in your lane. I mean, yeah, technically you hit him because
you hit him as he was entering your lane.
He pulled. But that was the thing, and I just, and me and a couple of guys are kind of standing around thinking, that dude don't need to be driving. And I mean, and he's probably, the scary thing is he's probably not even the worst driver out here. I mean, but yeah, it's one of those, I want to do the right thing, but man, I don't want to get involved here. But
dude, this was the other night. I went just ride with a buddy of mine. I had to go somewhere out of town. And so we're coming back, and it's late, and it's like just like a long, just a highway, not a interstate or anything, but I mean it's 4-lane highway. And the car in front of us doesn't seem to be going that fast, but a cop comes around us and throws the lights on that car. And then another cop comes around and throws the lights on. And so I'm thinking, yeah, is the guy not stopping? It's because, like I said, he doesn't seem to be going fast, and you're literally in the middle of nowhere. So it's like, well, maybe he's trying to find a place to stop. I don't know. And then all of a sudden they pick up speed. And yeah, we tried a bit to keep up. They were doing we got to about 70. And I said, yeah, you don't want to be getting a ticket ourselves. But then you see 3 other cops come from across the road.
Oh,
and they never got out of eyesight, maybe 100, 150 yards ahead of us, but you could still see the lights. Then you could tell they stopped. And as we get up to the car or to the cops, yeah, they've got the right lane blocked. And so looking for the guy, for the car, and you don't see the car. And I'm saying, well, maybe down in a ditch. What happened? Then when we got right even with the cop cars, you could see they're shining their lights literally in a cornfield. And it's like TV. The dude's probably like 30 yards in the cornfield where you could just see the trail of corn that he knocked down, car smoking and everything. So
that's when that's when you're like, I'm out of options. I'm gonna drive.
Just ditch it in the corn.
I'm driving the cornfield. They'll never find me in here.
It's like, you want to roll down the window and say, bro, why were y'all chasing this dude? What's the deal? Not the time.
Because we wanted to. We just felt like it.
Yeah. It was, bored in this town.
That's where you wish you had a canine unit.
Yeah,
that'd be fun, right?
Yeah.
No, let him go a little farther. Let's let the dog have some fun. It's not fun when the dog can only run like 10, 15 yards to jump on. Let the dog get him. I had a dog on my flight coming back from Las Vegas. Again, what is it? I mean, in like a poodle, it wasn't like a standard poodle, but it was a decent sized poodle. And
Was it a um what do they call it? Medical not an
I don't
emotional
know.
support animal.
It was some old man and lady traveling with their freaking dog, and I was thinking, oh great, just nowhere. And I was in the front of the plane on the way back, so I'm in first class, and I'm thinking, oh good, I love they go sticking in the in the back. I get on the damn plane, that dog was right behind me. I mean, hey, and listen, hey, so let me just say, the dog. I didn't hear the dog once. Of course, it was a red eye flight. Our flight
Yeah.
left Las Vegas at 1:30 in the
Oh
morning.
man.
All right. Landed in Houston around six something, whatever it was. And I never heard the dog once, but then again, I didn't hear much.
Yeah.
And I
But
gotta,
still, I told my wife this week, I said, the service animal stuff, yeah, that they've got the little vest on the service animal. I
yeah.
think you ought to take that a step further and have to say what service it's providing. Yeah, I'm just like I'm kind of doubting this.
Yeah. I told that one years ago. I was in New York, Newark, which you don't want to be there. I mean, no,
Mm.
LaGuardia. And I look down and this person's walking a dog and it's a service dog with the vest on. It was a Chihuahua. And that dog was shaking like it had the DTs. And I'm like, man, you're freaking emotional support dog's having a breakdown here, man. And he's like an emotional support hamster or something. What is it's out of control. It just is. And I'm not hating on dogs, but
No, I got two.
no, stop it. Stop it.
I saw a commercial. I was watching some stuff this week, and it's like, see these commercials on cable over and over again about the whole, for just $2.99 a day, yeah, you can feed this animal, and it's like, there are animals who don't know where their next meal is coming from, and I'm thinking pretty much all of them.
That's right. I don't know. I think your pets after a while, our cat, which is the most antisocial to this day. We've probably had that cat 4 years, 5 years, and I mean, I swear to you, it's probably at least once a week. Either I or my wife. Usually, my wife says, "Why do we have this animal?" Like she gives nothing. Like she
I asked my
doesn't.
wife yesterday if we could just put our dogs to sleep.
Okay.
I have one that's sad, because he's got to be close to blind, I guess. And so they sleep in our room in a kennel. So this morning I let him out of the kennel before I opened my bedroom door, which threw him off. And then he got all discombobulated as to which way he was going. And so they typically come out my room and then go to in the living room and then go to the back door. So he's like wandering all around my room. So I pick him up and just put him in the living room. And then he's going total opposite direction. It's like, oh, poor thing.
Yeah. My goal is to like I like animals. I just would like to have a place where I could just have a nice barn, like you know what I'm saying, climate controlled barn
Mm,
area. Hey, I'll play with the animals and have a nice life, take care of them. But then, yeah, you're not in the house.
yeah, let somebody else take care of him.
Or they're not take care of them. I don't mind. Heck, I took care of possums. I don't mind taking care of animals. Just not have them living in your house. But except everybody else out there that loves your pets, I get it. Whatever.
No hating on you.
Not it. Yeah. Just don't bring them on the plane. That's all we're saying. All we're saying. I noticed yesterday we had a crawfish boil yesterday at some friends, and it's I guess it's just the age we're at, the age me and guys. And I looked around and realized, and I was wearing a different kind of shirt, different a button down shirt like this, because that's the new thing now. Like these really they're not cotton, they're it's almost wicking kind of material.
That's golf shirts, dude. I'll wear the heck out of golf shirts.
Yeah, golf shirts. But yours, you see yours, you have to pull it over your head. All the guys I've noticed we're all wearing the button down all the way, like the like a button shirt. See, this is a button shirt.
Oh wow, that looks like a polo shirt.
Well, no, it's a button shirt.
Okay.
But it's funny. I was looking around, and all my friends. When I was like, when did we cross over, y'all? That we're all like the papas now. We all wear the button down shirts because that way you don't have to hurt yourself putting it over your head.
Like my dad. My dad only wears those button down plaid shirts.
Listen, something to be said. Something to be said for that. But
Oh, Mr. Bad Hip, you got to be careful. You don't want to hurt your shoulders too.
And don't even get me started on my tooth, man. I got I'm playing that game of you know, I bit down on something the other day and it kind of hurt, and I'm like, okay, did I bruise
Did it break
something?
something? Yeah.
No, I don't think it broke. It's just, it's not really heat sensitive or cold sensitive, but every now and then if I'm chewing on something, I'm like, what the?
I just chew on the other side when that
I
happens.
do a little bit of that, but what you gonna do, bro? Getting old. You get old, you get everything. Everything hurts. Everything hurts. I saw a funny meme says that. I'm at that stage of life where I'm always asking myself, did I just hurt myself or is this just who I am now?
It's usually just who you are. It always hurts. Sometimes it just hurts more.
I know. I preemptively grunt. I
Yeah.
grunt before I exert myself. Right? I
Yeah,
mean,
my doctor sent me to a pain management specialist this
there
week.
you go.
Um, I have like arthritis in my neck and stuff, and I've done the physical therapy and everything. And so you go there and they say, okay, well, like what's your pain today? And I said, relatively speaking, not bad. Yeah, it hurts, but not as much as it does sometimes. I don't know what to tell
Yeah.
you. Yeah, I've had this for 10 years. I'm pretty used to it.
I need you to understand I live with a certain level of pain all
Right,
the time.
right. Am I doing it compared to the normal or?
It's like asking me why you annoyed. I don't know. Just because there's always a certain level of annoyance going on. Let's be honest. It's like what I'm just generally annoyed right now. Nothing in particular.
Yeah,
Right? I'm like
because I'm
I'm at a
alive.
I'm at a 3. I'll wake up at a 3. You know, so if it's 0 to 10, I'll wake up at 3. And the first 30 minutes of my day, I'm either going to a 6 or a 7, or I might maybe get it down to a 2.
And
But
and sometimes it's for me it's a lot quicker to go to that to go from not so annoyed to really annoyed. The process to get there is a lot quicker than to go from really annoyed to back to not so annoyed.
yeah, because while you're annoyed, you might as well stay annoyed because
That's
nothing's
right. I
worse.
want to work it, man.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than
And
like
to
getting it.
maintain it, I find other things to be annoyed about.
Yes, yes. Because if you get back into a decent mood and then boom, something hits, no, I'll just stay at this level of annoyance until I go to bed. Let's
And
hope.
nobody bothers you.
Let's hope.
Dave's annoyed, just leave him alone.
That's right. Yeah, it works. It works. Speaking of it works, let's see if this button works. We're gonna push the button. Get on out of here. See if any of this stuff stuck to the magic tape in the sky. We hope it did, y'all. Dave and Juan at protonmail.com is where you
Or
can
right
email
here.
us. Yeah, right here. Whatever it is you're doing right now, at this moment that you are either seeing, hearing, or both, right? Do it again, and we'll be there. And we should be back next week, maybe.
Next week?
I'm in New Orleans. We're gonna figure that one
Ah,
out.
well, yeah, because it's graduation weekend. We got a bunch of stuff.
Okay, so we may preemptively say, y'all, you might want to go back and watch either this episode again, because why wouldn't you? I mean, there was so many
Lots of nuggets in here,
a
man.
lot
Good
of
stuff.
nuggets, so many nuggets in this pod. Just go back. You probably missed something. If you don't feel like doing that, y'all, there's
Yeah.
209.
Something other ones.
There are 209 of these bad boys that you can just go randomly click through. Just randomly click through. And every now and then we're sharing. Somebody yesterday told me, goes, I like every now and then Facebook puts a clip of y'all. And I'm like, Facebook ain't doing that. That's us.
The old ones.
Facebook ain't
That's
putting
like
that.
because you go through Facebook memories and I see it now. Yeah, sometimes I listen to it. Especially like sometimes I read the description. I say, I don't even remember that. Let me see what that
Oh,
was.
myself. You put one the other day and I forgot
Oh,
about it. We're talking about comparing getting work done on your face or
yeah,
doing any kind of plastic
power
surgery.
washing the driveway.
Like what? Like power
I
washing
said
your
that was
driveway.
freaking good.
Don't start power washing your driveway unless you plan on power washing everything. Same thing with your face. You start nipping, tucking, you're never going to stop. You're never
Yeah.
going to stop. There you go.
And the
So
beauty of that, the timing was I power washed my driveway this weekend.
there you go. There you go. So anyway, guys, you know where to find us there. Every week we tell you it's not a hint suggestion. We're not implying jack squat. Y'all, it is a
It's a freaking mandate, man.
live your best life. Go out there, live your best life. You could be like this this dude that, he started off the week. He wasn't the Pope.
Yeah.
He wasn't the Pope. My man, what's his name again?
Leo.
I know he's Leo, but I was trying to remember what was his
I
name
don't know.
before. He was hang on.
Cardinal.
He was a cardinal. What was Cardinal? Come on, Dave, find it. Card. There we go. It was Robert Francis Prevost. Prevost. All right. He started the week. He didn't know he was going to be the Pope.
No, man.
All of a sudden, booyah! You the Pope. You the Pope.
Big job.
All right. So there you go.
Probably the last gig he'll ever get.
That's pretty much it. Pretty much that's usually how it works. He's not going to be like you, go and take another job. Not like just announcing it on the
But like him, one way or the other, this is the last gig I'm ever getting.
Congratulations, new employer. This is the last place I'm ever going to work. It might be a week. It might be another 5 years. But this is it.
It's going to be 5 years.
You got me. You got me. All righty. So all that stuff. Until then, guys, you guys be safe out there. Have a great one. And Juan and I will see you, hopefully when we see you, no more than 2 weeks, maybe next week. We'll figure it out. We'll, hang in there, America. We coming back.
We'll be back.
All right, we'll be back. All right. Love you, bro.
Back at you, man. And then, like, the first thing you get is, like, they do, like, a lot of these personality profile things, like multiple levels. And I like doing those things. They're fun. But the first thing you get is, okay, we'd like to consider you. We're going to send you this little thing first. And it's just like a 10-minute questionnaire. And it's, have you ever done drugs at work? Have you ever, sold drugs at work? Have you ever stole from your employer?
No, but I'm willing to learn.
And just a lot of things like this. So when they call me back and I have the first interview with like the HR person a couple weeks later, she said, well, do you have any questions? I said, well, I got one specifically. Does anybody ever say yes on those things? And she said, well, you'd be surprised. And she said, well, it's one of those things. I get a lot of those personality tests. They'll ask you the same question 10 ways, and they look for patterns in your answer. You can ask me 10 different ways I've stolen, and my answer is always, I'm sitting down thinking, it's a job at a bank. It's probably not, they probably don't have a lot of leeway on that.
Oh, man. Have you ever done drugs? Have you ever sold drugs?
Have you sold drugs at work?
Different levels, I guess. I guess they it's 1 point off for doing drugs at work. It's 3 for selling them at work.
Yeah. Have you ever tried to sell drugs at work and somebody turned you down, or you would have sold it, but you didn't have any good customers?
Corporate America, bro.
It's over. Go home.